Jai Gurudev. From the bottom of my heart, my thanks for Manoj ji for such kind words about me. He has allowed me to fine tune that sentence he was sharing. We were here yesterday and it was a spontaneous dialogue. So the sentence I remembered and I happened to say was, I am rich not because of the things I have. I am rich because I don't need the things. That is the sentence. It refers to simplicity in life, developing beyond material pursuits, especially for self-oriented. So, I am rich not because I have lot of things, but I am rich because I don't need things. Manoj ji, deeply thankful to you. Absolutely delighted and thankful to Sanjana Tai, who was coordinating with such extraordinary force. And that absolutely lovely Konkani that she spoke also added beautiful flavor to the ongoing program. Then you slightly demoted me. She called me only Adhikari. I am Dharmadhikari. No, I'm having some fun as usual. My deepest, my Vandan for Swamiji's here, and also Swamiji's who may not be materially, bodily here, but all of us know they are here. Respected Vinay Guruji, who I had this great blessings in meeting him a month and a half ago. Respected Shrikanta Guruji, also I got an opportunity to meet him a month and a half ago. Then on a very special function, he was here. And as is our Bharatiya Shraddha, I touched their feet, seeking their blessings, because I'm sure I'm speaking something that is in your hearts also, that we sincerely believe in blessings by tapasvi people. Those who have gone beyond their personal egos. Those who exist for welfare of the people. सबके कल्याण के लिए जो जीते हैं. जिनके लिए अब अपना निजी विशेषकर भौतिक रूप में है ही नहीं कुछ. और पूरी दुनिया के प्रति जिनका भाव है आशीर्वाद का, ब्लेसिंग्स. आई बिलीव नहीं ग्रेट या श्योर. Manoj ji wants Guruji's photograph also to be behind me.
I think everyone wants.
What I mean to say is Guruji is behind all of us. Thank you, Manoj ji. Like I was saying, the belief, the Shraddha in blessings. So my reason for being here is also to seek blessings. It's like visiting a Tirtha Kshetra with that purity of heart, humbleness of spirit, and seeking blessings for whatever all of us are doing in one's own and our own lives. The kind of gratitude I feel cannot even be stated in words alone. So deeply grateful to be here, so deeply grateful to be with all of you, so deeply grateful to receive blessings of Swamiji's. It is only the statement of gratitude. In fact, English language is not powerful enough to express that gratitude. Our Bharatiya word is Krutagyata. The value that the word Krutagyata carries, the strength, the intensity of feeling, like we are Krutagya towards our parents, towards our gurus, and more we understand, deeper we understand, we begin to develop this Krutagyata for divine, the God. So I am deeply Krutagya to be here, to get to be here on the Vyasapeeth as we call it, Maharshi Vyas as the Adya Guru, and to be in the companies of Swamijis, receiving these blessings and getting a brief opportunity to just interact with you, continue with joy, the happiness that we feel. It so happens that barely at my age of 6 or 7, I chanced to see a book by Swami Vivekananda. The title of that book, written by Swami Vivekananda himself, the title is Raja Yoga. And Swamiji personally wrote himself 4 books explaining these 4 paths to reach the same divine, the same God, whatever name we give that God, and that God that is within us. But the book I happened to get at my age of 6 or 7 was Raja Yoga. It so happens that I felt drawn to that book. So I opened it, and right from first page, the feeling was like Swamiji himself is talking to me. Like he is explaining that you want to know yourself. The eternal question, Koham, who am I? Why am I born? What is the meaning or what is the purpose of this life? And the creative journey begins when we develop this question, Koham. Then Swamiji explains how this journey goes from Koham to Soham. That Tat, the divine principle that is inside you. And then it's a commentary on Patanjali's Yoga Sutras by Swami Vivekananda himself. Point I want to share with you is, in initial pages itself, Swamiji explains how one should start doing yoga in one's own life, and then you will find your guru. But start doing this. Be it Surya Namaskaras, be it asanas, be it pranayamas to be performed in, of course, a scientific way, and then mudra, and then as we develop, it comes from within. I have always thought myself as tremendously lucky to have found Adhyatma philosophy, the philosophy of Vedanta oneness, and also how to bring it in our life by regularly practicing yoga at age of 6 or 7. Tremendously lucky. And then formally whatever education, etc., that drove me to be full-time Karyakarta who serves Bharat Mata. The only dream is not about what degree I get and what nokri I get, and then marriage, and then kids, and then looking. This is all part of our life. But again, I feel fortunate enough to have thought of my life, my career, as service to Bharat Mata, which is service to people. Whatever are material stations en route just happen to be stations. Back from 1975 to 86, I worked as a full-time Karyakarta, organizing youth, undertaking many rural development programs, traveling all over the country, studying the problems of our nation, our people, writing on them, working on them. It was that experience that told me the significance of civil services. That with the fire of Karyakarta in my heart, if only I get the power of an IAS officer, I would be able to serve more, serve better. So I happened to give that exam. By God's grace, I happened to clear that. So joined Indian Administrative Service in 1986. Then I served there for 10 years. My idea never was to serve for the whole life. After 10 years, 1996, I resigned to start this educational work. The carefully chosen name of that work is Chanakya Mandal Parivar. So it is a parivar, a family. It is not a coaching class. It is not a money-making proposition. And the name Chanakya as a symbol of India's initial bureaucrat who understood with his vision what kind of invasions and aggressions are coming towards us, whether they were coming from outside or the worst part was they were from inside. Chanakya himself was a bureaucrat in Dhanananda's Darbar on seeing about the external aggression of Greeks, Alexander, but the worst part of internal political power turning corrupt, turning debauch, turning characterless and not paying attention to people's welfare. Chanakya as a bureaucrat tried to alert the powers that be. Instead of waking up, they insulted him. So he took an oath that I will bring about a revolution, a new generation of young people with character and competence who will unite India, make India the genuine world power, the Adhyatmic power that we have always been, that Chanakya. With that vision, we picked up the name Chanakya Mandal Parivar. That is where my blessings deepen when I come in contact with Guruji. So with my innate yearning to keep learning more and more, it so happens that my Pune friends told me about Guruji, about Siddha Samadhi Yoga. So I did the courses then, also advanced courses. I deepened my own yoga practice, and I'm very deeply happy to tell you that I developed a personal relationship with Guruji. This morning, I had this absolutely wonderful, again, blessings to interact with Lakshmi Ma and Anand Mohanji. And she told me that every time Guruji used to meet her, he used to talk about me, saying there is some person doing some work and you should meet him. There cannot be a greater blessing than Guruji talking about me to Lakshmi Ma. So when the first building of Chanakya Mandal Parivar came up in Pune, the whole idea and the carefully chosen word also was Lokarpana. The Bharatiya word is Lokarpana, dedication to people, Lokarpana. The whole idea is, it's not mine. It's not mine. The building, people gave the money, it belongs to the people, it is not mine. I will only look after that as a trusted person. Not mine, it's not for my consumption. People gave, and I am dedicating it back to people. So the carefully chosen word was Lokarpana. So the Lokarpana of the first building of Chanakya Mandal in Pune was done at the hands of Guruji. And many of you may also know one more great global work in form of Swadhyay Parivar. founded and led by great Adhunik Rishi, whose name was Panduranga Shastri Athavale. We fondly and respectfully call him Dadaji. So the images of a yajna being done at that new building of Chanakya Mandal Parivar, the yajna led by, presided over by Guruji and Dadaji, those blessings continue with me, with all of us. And in last 30 years in developing character and competence in youth, of course there have been ups and downs, as they are bound to be there. None of us can escape from all kinds of ups and downs. If even Prabhu Sri Ram, in whose name we gave this powerful chant, and Bhagwan Sri Krishna also suffered and faced pain. So who are we? Are common human beings. So ups and downs would be there. But through all those ups and downs, I always knew that I will not fail, not because I am somebody, I am nobody journeying towards becoming everybody, but the belief I will not fail is because I received Guruji's Ashirwad. So as a human being, there may be lacunas in me, but how can Guruji fail? His blessings. And now after 30 years of work, as briefly as possible, but I am very happy to tell you that such manpower is developed from Chanakya Mandal Parivar, who join India's civil services, and they are known for being clean and competent Karyakarta Adhikaris of Bharat. And thousands of IAS officers, including in Goa, in Karnataka, all over India, absolutely. My favorite description is from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and from Kutch to Kohima, India, that is one nation. Now Chanakya Mandal human resources serve India in different walks of life, be they IAS officers or IPS officers or representing India in foreign service and all such services. The number is not important, character is important. That they are known to be clean and efficient. Those are two of the best words I always use. How should an adhikari be? Adhikari either in government service or adhikari in one's own chosen walk of life. Our words are achieving excellence and creativity in one's own chosen walk of life. And what is the 100% guaranteed path for achieving excellence and creativity? The path is yoga, regular yoga. How to go inside? We want excellent health. We want outstanding memory. We want our neural network to be performing at better than its best. We want our heart, our lungs, our kidneys, our brain, the whole body system to function excellently. The best way is regular practice of yoga. Even the deepest of the knowledge that says the only knowledge is knowledge of the self. Atma Jnana, Atma Gyan. The only true knowledge is knowledge of the self. Ki you find yourself, you know yourself, and then choose the path in your life, and then achieve excellence and creativity in that walk of life. Actually, now we define service to the nation, service to the people, as achieving excellence and creativity in one's own chosen walk of life itself is service to the people, service to the nation. Manoj ji, was referring to our informal chat which always goes on yesterday. And it so happens that spontaneously our discussion went to that point where I said that our Rishi Munis and our Santa, they have taught us that the best way to worship God is to perform one's own duty best. So doing duty is worship of God. There is this Marathi, I'm sure Kokani and Marathi people will not only understand, they will know from Santa Jnaneshwar, who explained Bhagavad Gita in more than 9,000 OVs in the 18th chapter. While now his analysis of Bhagavad Gita is to be over, he tells us half a line that summarizes entire Adhyatma philosophy. That half a line is Karme Ishu Bhajava is the line. Karme Ishu Ishwar Bhajava, ईश्वर का भजन जहाँ करना है तालियों के साथ, मालाओं के साथ, तिलक के साथ, बट वो सिंबल्स है वो सभी. Best way to worship God is our karma, our action, our duty, as long as it is performed in a detached way and it is dedicated, devoted to the divine with a sense, idam na mama. It is all idam na mama. I am doing this as my worship to God. And then the happiness from within begins to come up. So I have been doing this little work last 30 years. Now is the time to take the next major step. In sort of Western language, it comes to be called a moonshot target. Moonshot target. Like after Second World War, there was this global power struggle of USA versus USSR. By the end of the decade of 50s, it appeared as if USSR was stealing a march over USA. So President Kennedy summoned a meeting and he said all our national energies need to come together. So we need to have a target based on technological development of Soviet Russia. Kennedy suggested the target of reaching moon before the end of the next decade. That American technology should develop so well that we beat USSR, and first man to step onto the moon should be an American in an American satellite and whatnot, spaceship. That has been described as a moonshot goal. Some goal, we decide to go there in a time-bound fashion. All my colleagues, as I call you, colleagues because we all do sadhana together, I am happy to tell you that we have decided that that goal will be establishing a world-class university entirely based on Indian knowledge system. That is the description. Even today, we are at that stage, or broadly speaking, in that mindset that all excellence has to come from the West. All original thought has to come from the West. All seats of learning have to be Oxford or Cambridge and Harvard or MIT, etc. Let them be great that they are. But let us not forget that for thousands of years of our history, India was the global center of knowledge creation and knowledge distribution. That best of the brains came to India from all over the world in search of knowledge. They found it here, took it with them, and went to different parts of the world. That is your and my Bharatvarsh. We have our own humanity's oldest and the greatest university named Takshashila University. Takshashila is historically globally accepted that it is the oldest university of entire humanity, and till it was there, Takshashila was considered world's best university. The very name Takshashila, Taksha is the son of Bharata, younger brother of Prabhu Sri Ram. And that Bharata who refused to rule in place of Prabhu Sri Ram, that is our glorious tradition and even pursuit of power, that it's not ruthless. In fact, I don't want power is our message, political power. That Bharata's son is Taksha, who then built this city, and the legend goes back, the Sanatan story, that therefrom emerges the university Takshashila. My educational works named Chanakya comes from Chanakya himself had his education at Takshashila. Later on, we had world's best university in Nalanda, from where new knowledge was created, new research and development was done, and then all over from the world, mind you, from China, from Korea, from what we today call as Central Asia, until about 1000 Common Era, Central Asia was Hindu Bauddha, either Vedic or they were Bauddha people. And that goes to even West Asia, parts of Africa, and all over the places. I will not go into civilizational analysis. The point I am saying is, Bharatvarsh as the center of knowledge, best of knowledge created here, not just adopted, not just blindly copied. While we are not against picking up the best from all over the world, our Vedic prayer also is Ano Bhadraha Kratavo Yantu Vishwataha. It's straight from Rigveda. Ano Bhadraha Kratavo Yantu Vishwataha says, let all good things, good thoughts come to us from all over the world. That is Ano Bhadraha Kratavo Yantu Vishwataha. And at the same time, our Indian genius has creativity enough to also produce new knowledge, new developments, and also synthesize world's best with India's best, improve it further, and then offer it to the world again for the welfare of the world, for the oneness of the world. That is what again India is. Another of our Vedic prayer is Prithivai Samudra Paryantayaha Ekarat iti. That prayer says the whole world as one family. The whole world, Prithivai Samudra Paryantaya, the whole world, one nation, we are one people. India does not see dichotomies. India is not based on hatred and violence, etc. It is we work for oneness of the world. In the field of knowledge, that realization of oneness, Advaita, I have always held as the greatest discovery of human civilization. Understanding that we are all one, understanding that Jiva and Shiva are one, understanding Tat Tvamasi, the whole universe comes into existence based on one Chaitanya, which is Sat, Chit and Ananda Swarup. But you are that. To understand that is the greatest discovery of human history. And then to develop a technology to achieve this oneness, that technology is yoga. That how each one of us can achieve it. Okay, sit like this. Close your eyes. Focus on breathing. And then the process starts. So I have always understood that yoga is the greatest technology of all times, mind you. The greatest technology ever. It is a technology way superior to even AI, which is now explained as the latest state-of-art technology, yoga as technology, and Advaita Vedanta as the goal. Even modern science is in search of what they call as theory of everything. That last 300, 350 years of new developments, they especially in the West, now they have reached to see how by understanding some one thing, can we understand everything? That is the statement of theory of everything. Then may I remind you that that is where the process of knowledge in India began thousands of years ago. Thousands of years ago. That the disciple asks Guru, the sentence from Upanishad is, Kasminno bhagavo vidnyatare sarvam janami bhavet. The disciple is asking Guru that Gurudev, by knowing what, I will know everything. And then Upanishad explains. Yet another of Upanishad, Kenopanishad says, Kena jnatena sarvam janami bhavet. By knowing what, I will know everything. The search for theory of everything. And the answer that has come to us for thousands of years is Atma-jnana, knowledge of the self. Atma-jnana, you know yourself and you will know the whole world. Actually, in short, what I am saying is, India has our own indigenous, deeply profound method of knowledge, search for knowledge, which unfortunately we have forgotten. I am going to say thanks to about 1,000 years of repeated invasions, the destruction that we faced, and survival itself had become a challenge. But I believe India is waking up again. And when India wakes up, India works in favor of the whole world, for the welfare of the whole world. To our misfortune, we were ruled by the Britishers for about 150 years. They did not only rule our land, they did not just have a political rule, they skillfully designed an educational system which will make slaves out of us. This is Macaulay's educational system. Around 1835, after again to your and my misfortune, the whole country came under British control. They understood that unless we develop inferiority complex for our own civilization, for our own dharma, for our own philosophy, for our own knowledge, we will not surrender to alien rule. They had understood that in fact the depth of Bharatiya Sanskriti is universal, but in order to make slaves out of them, we need to cultivate their minds through education. So Macaulay is the best symbol of the educational system that British brought and implemented. There is one paragraph written by Macaulay himself which explains that we need to develop such class among Indians who may be dark in skin but white in their taste and values, and who will work for perpetuation of British rule, and they will serve the British Empire as the army of clerks. These are the words by Macaulay. Army of clerks. That was the educational system. The one that would tell us how everything about India is wrong. How no original idea came up in India. How always foreign invaders came there and they are the ones who brought language, literature, script and all such researches. The sad part is there are enough number of Indians who began to believe that. Loss of self-confidence. loss of cultural confidence. And unfortunately, it also further deepened even in post-independence period. We should have brought an entire educational system based on our thought. It doesn't mean don't accept the best from the world, but the very basis needed to be changed. That unfortunately did not happen, but I am happy to say that now it has begun to happen. Now it has begun. All of us I see as a part of that process of resurgence of India. Therefore, we need to develop our own institutions of education, our own movements, which will not only be all India movements, but eventually they will be, and they are already becoming, global movements. Actually, even today, there is a twofold process that is happening. One, there are still attacks on everything Indian. These attacks are from outside India also, but they are from inside India also. Everything about India is demeaning, how it is backward, how it is superstitious, how we need to leave all of it and blindly follow the West. That attack is still on, but there is a second process at work. It is more cunning than this one, that actually the Westerners are studying us, our society, our civilization, our languages, okay? Not because they look forward to our welfare, but because they want to just extract the best part, repackage it, and present it as their research, mind you, as their research, and which India is buying. For want of time, I will just mention one example and then come to the last and what I consider as the most important part of my interaction this morning. During Corona period, all of us suffered and we were undergoing deep pain. So at home also I used to read regular research papers. Then I came across one research paper by an American doctor. This American doctor says, Corona is a virus that attacks our immunity system. So every such thing that strengthens our immunity, we need to do. And he said, I have found out one such method of strengthening our immunity. He calls it cardiac breathing. The name he gave is cardiac breathing. He says he found it. He says he developed it. And what is cardiac breathing? Okay? Empty your chest and then close one nostril. Breathe in from one nostril, then close that nostril. Breathe out from the second nostril. This is our most basic pranayam, Anulom Vilom or Sukha pranayam. But the American doctor says he found it. And then under their laws, they would register intellectual patent rights and then start telling us that you can't do that, otherwise you will have to pay the fees. There is this twofold process. And the answer, my dear friends, is for us to build our own institutions and our own movements. That is where the dream we are trying to present, and we feel blessed when everyone tells me, and I also know that that was the dream of even Guruji. Our own educational system, our own educational institutions. So I am closely seeking to work even at ground level, Chanakya Mandal Parivar and RSVK together. If on one side we can begin to develop schools based on our Adhyatma philosophy, that time has come. And as Chanakya Mandal Parivar, along with my team, I seek to focus on developing a world-class university, restoring India as the knowledge center of the world. Even yesterday when I was interacting with couple of our colleagues, someone said, it means we want Harvard here. I said, no, we want something better than Harvard here. We will set our own standards. We will not measure ourselves by the Western standards, but our standards will actually be higher than Western standards. So the education that is based on Adhyatma philosophy, the entire education in which yoga is an integral part, and at the same time, the education that is modernmost, so it is medical education, engineering education in all branches, it is pharmacy, management, arts, science, commerce, chartered accountant, company secretaries, business administration, all on the basis of Adhyatma philosophy. I will close by just telling you one last extremely important piece of data. The latest sunrise technology is AI, artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence has already begun to make an impact on human life. The scientists world over know, and they have stated that the best language suited for AI is Sanskrit. So the whole new modern education, which synthesizes the best of the world, but builds it on the foundation of Indian knowledge system. That is the dream of the university, for which I seek blessings of Swamiji, blessings of Guruji, blessings of all of you. I deeply express my deepest sense of gratitude for this opportunity to be here with you. Let us travel together. Let us turn our life into joyful life and also turn the whole world's life into joyful life. Dhanyavad. Jai Gurudev.